There's 26, so that's 30, 40, 50, 6,000. So I only need 4 more thousandths left to get to 60. Crikey, I don't have 60 thousandths. The lowest I can go with 6 thousandths. Hello everybody, welcome back. We are working on the 3800 series tuned port injection. This ain't your standard port injection, this is tuned port injection. V6 3.8 liter that is in our 1991 Olds 98 series touring sedan trim level car. We'll only be doing a few things here. I don't think we'll even bother doing an oil change because, to be honest, the oil doesn't look too bad on it. Looks a little bit on the browner side. It can go for, I think, a little bit longer, but I'll have my friend who actually owns this car can actually swap it out later. But oil looks in fairly decent condition. Transmission fluid. Ooh. Yeah, it's actually down there a little bit. Right about, yeah, that's probably gonna need at least a quart or two. Well, we can do that later. Yes, you're supposed to check it when it's hot, when it's running in neutral and all that blah, blah, blah stuff, but you figure it's already down below the add mark. When we turn the engine on, the pump's going to come on. It's actually even... You guys are blurry. Yes, I know, you're supposed to check the transmission when it's cooled and in park and hot and all that blah, blah, blah stuff. But if you figure if that's where the oil is level is right now, that's below the grid pattern, by the time the transmission pump starts up, it's just going to draw it down even further. From experience, I can tell you it's going to need at least a quart or two. Now the engine runs a little bit rough. I pulled one of the spark plugs out and it looks like they're pretty worn. They're out of specs. Motor shakes a little bit when it's running. We'll go ahead and demonstrate that for you and put some plugs in at least and see if we can make it run a little bit smoother. All right. Yes, you guys remember the old pellet keys of GM? Believe it or not, this system is still intact. It still uses the resistor for the anti-theft system. I'm surprised this thing hasn't fallen out or broken yet, but it still works. The camera is really not picking it up very well. Okay, well that's a fail. I guess leave that in there. It doesn't sound bad at all, though. No, we don't need the extension. Whatever. This is the one I've undone already that I know is bad. This, I don't know. You work on so many engines, I get lost on how they label first cylinder, second cylinder, last cylinder, 1, 2, 3, 4. Everybody does it differently. So this might be cylinder 1. I don't know. We'll examine that in a minute. Nobody freak out. Just fine. Well, not about fine, but you know, hey ho. This would be the middle cylinder on the left-hand side. So this might be cylinder number 2. I don't know. Numbers really don't matter right now. Not terrible. I'm going to use a socket because some idiot turned the engine on and now everything's warm down here. Gosh dang it. You get some of these wires, so let's see here. Let's just be able to unscrew this and pop this off. Okay. You guys remember back in the day when they actually had metal air intakes? Oh, to go back to those days. Oh, now this is interesting. You see that on these spark plugs wires, we have the heat shield for the plugs themselves because they're pretty close to the manifold. All right, we got all 3 of them there. And you see the front 3 cylinders don't have them. Someone's been in here before. Fascinating. So what unholy treasures are we going to unearth on these back cylinders? Or right side cylinders, whatever. Am I doing that right? Yeah. Push. Push, squeeze, pull. Push, pull, push me, pull you. Ooh, there's a throwback. Ah, there we go. See, I didn't break it. Mark. This one is one as well. Let's be 1, 2, 1 and 2 and 3. There we go. Oh, googly moogly. I cannot get that out. Ah, I'm gonna grab my pliers. Can I get these back ones off now? There we go. I don't want to hit. I don't want to get tangled up with that little wire. It has your oxygen sensor wire. I wonder if these plugs look like. I wonder what these plugs look like. I'd say the originals, but I don't know. These are old copper style plugs, so they wear out pretty easily. Slip it over there. Attaboy. Come on now. It's just a spark plug. Of course, nowadays where they tend to put spark plugs, you gotta take off half a ton of plastic just to get to them. That one's fairly loose. It's tightening up on me. Don't you tighten up on me. No, we're not gonna have any of that nonsense. Okay, it's coming loose again. Whew. For diesel owners, they know the feeling of working on the old IDIs, indirect injection diesels, or even the ones in the 90s, electronic ones. Feel that glow plug start to tighten up when you're pulling it out of the engine. Or worst case scenario, you can't pull your glow plug out of the engine because the tip is swelled up so much. Yeah, that's not a good day. Oh yeah, it's worn. We'll get you a better close-up here on the big camera. Well, they look like the same vintage plugs though. I don't know why our front spark plugs don't have heat shields on them though. Spark plug wires don't have heat shields on them. Tad peculiar. Other things have happened, but because it's fairly accessible to get back here with my big fat fingers. My big fat Swedish fingers, y'all. Alright, I don't think I need the ratchet right now. I think we got her sorted out. Wish someday I could sort myself out, but face it, there's not enough money or time in the world for that. So always be a raving lunatic. Yeah, that sounds fine. There's enough out of them in the world today. Of course, you probably need less of them, let's be honest. Yeah, again, looks good. It's not really burning any oil. The engine looks like the combustion process is working properly. Looks like a fairly healthy engine. I think this car was last ran on the road 4 years ago, so it hasn't been sitting for too long. Yeah, corroded, but it's a good color. No carbon buildup. Yeah, it's a good clean burning combustion chamber. Well, here's the spark plugs all pulled out. AC Delcos. Nice to see some OEMs in there. As we can see, there's some big gaps in those electrodes. Let's measure a few of those. I hate to do maths on these things, especially when you don't have the right number the first get-go. 20 thousandths and 10, so that's 30 thousandths. I just need 30 more thousandths. There's 26, so that's 30, 40, 56 thousandths, so I only need 4 more thousandths left to get to 60. Crikeys, I don't have 60 thousandths. The lowest I can go with 6 thousandths. So, do we have a 0.24? We do? Okay. Okay, Raggy. show, instead of the 24, we're going to dismiss the 22. No. What the heck was I doing? 30 thousandths, trying to get to 60. 4. So we need 22. Dismiss this and put 22 thousandths up on the block. 22 thousandths, right? I don't have 22. What was I doing? Okay, there's 30 thousandths. Wow. My brain turned to mush. Okay, so I'm going to pick out probably 2 of the widest gap ones, it looks like. And then maybe this one might be the shortest or smallest gapping. So these are supposed to be gapped at 60 thousandths as factory specs, and actually I've got 61 thousandths here. That's actually pretty good. This one, yeah, it's not bad either. That's actually pretty darn close. They're all actually pretty close. That one's pretty, yeah, that one's, I'm actually pretty surprised. All gapped pretty well. All right, so we order from The Rock. Good or bad, I know. It has its controversies and whatnot, but I've seen some people get the wrong part. I've seen some people on Reddit say they've, you know, purchased $30,000 worth of through Rock Auto, good OEM stuff, and they never had a problem. So, you know, your mileage will definitely vary. Get it, car stuff. Hey! All right, fine. All right, shit. Oh, yeah. There we go. There's Maurice's Buick. The GM guy's got to admit, come on now. That's a beautiful Buick. That's a 4-door. See, all of the 2-door cars and sports cars, they get the loving, but, you know, the old family 4-door sedan cars, you know, they don't get a lot of loving, so it's actually really nice to see that. Fantastic. And, of course, everybody will be pleased that we bought genuine Delcos. Oh, yes. Nothing fits like OEM. In theory, these are the right part numbers. Now, let's have some controversy, right? Let's spice it up a little bit. These are copper spark plugs. They're both coppers. Now, you might be saying to yourself, oh, well, you're in this far, or, you know, it can be sometimes hard to reach on spark plugs. Why can't you put some platinums in there? Well, we can, and it would still run and drive probably just fine. And with platinums, you know, they last a lot longer than the old school copper technology that's been around for 100 years, you know. But there are advantages of running copper spark plugs. I should note that for this 3.8 liter, GM does say copper plugs are to be used. Although copper will have a shorter, much shorter lifespan, it actually produces a hotter spark than the platinums. Now the trade-off with the platinum is you get a slightly less of a spark, but you get way more mileage out of your platinums. Obviously, platinum should be used for high-intensity discharge ignition systems such as coil-over plugs, distributor-less systems. With copper, if you have an old-school distributor style, old-school ignition system that's never been revamped, still stock coil and wires and all that stuff, stay with your copper because you will get a hotter spark and a more complete burn. Old-school copper plugs into a modern engine, if you want a hotter spark, but with a high-intensity voltages of modern ignition systems, you're going to burn the old school copper plugs out pretty quickly. I believe platinum doesn't foul up as much, but there you go. So the only little catch with this car is that the ignition system on here does not have a distributor. It is a distributorless system, but if you look in the manual, GM still says to use copper plugs. So we're going to use copper plugs. Oh, crud muffin, I put my feeler gauges away. Now I got to count them all up again. Kind of see why I want to replace them too, because you could see the worn out electrode over here versus how much electrodes on that side. Doesn't hurt anything. They're cheap, a couple bucks a piece. Right, guys, you know, I'm sure most of you know how to gap spark plugs. So another fabulous jump cut, and we'll be right back to install spark plugs. Oh, so exciting. Oh, there you go. Now, I know everyone's asking, what copyright song were you listening to while you were gapping the plugs? And I says to you, we're listening to Aretha Franklin, Freeway of Love. That's a good song. Love that song. That's a good jamming song going up and down the road, the freeway, the motorway, whatever you guys call it. Trail. More of a cruising song than a four-wheel drive song, let's be honest, but... And our big old Cadillac. Okay, next question for the General Motors peoples. Or any car enthusiasts, don't have to be General Motors. We all love cars on this show. 1960s and 70s Cadillacs. Do we like side-by-side headlights, or do I like stacked headlights? I prefer stacked headlights myself. It might be a hint of what might be coming up here maybe in a few years on this channel. I've got too many other projects lined up, but I might have secured a Cadillac for us. I'm not going to say what it is. All I'm going to say, 1967. Now there's a big teaser for you. I'm not going to mention anything else about it because there's at least Project Old Blue that's being recorded behind the camera that you guys have absolutely no idea about. I did a community tap post. One of you guys was very smart to say, hey, that's a big block Ford Edsel engine. So we got that. We still got to get that freaking Chrysler New Yorker off the block. It's still standing up in my shop. Get the electrical done. That's got brakes. And then I've got a friend of mine who wants to get his dad 55 Chevy 210 going. So eventually that'll be, that might be start recording this summer, but I like to get a little bit ahead on recording first on those. So therefore there's not a year's worth of gap between then and now. Right, we are all gapped up in here. So I'll plug these back in here. Now, another advantage of copper plugs that I did not mention. With copper plugs, standard old school copper plugs, they wear out faster. Yes, now you do get a hotter spark, as I just discussed. But the one thing about plugs wearing out a lot faster is you have to replace them a lot more. There go. They don't get stuck in the cylinder head nearly as much. If you're doing your periodic maintenance or your PMs. So that's another one slight advantage, because you see I'm putting the threads in dry. I have talked to other people on the internets, and they, some of them, which I agree. I mean, if these plugs are outrageously hard to get to, yeah, maybe you just want to put platinums in it so you don't have to worry about it for 100,000 miles, but they're relatively easy. Some people's on the internet were saying on forums and whatnot that I've been on. Why is this thing going on? Were you geared down right? Well, the people on the nets were saying, as well as I agree with them, that they would have their plugs wear out faster, but easy to extract versus potentially snapping a plug off that's been in there for 100,000 miles. So you figure that's a lot of a heat cycle for a plug to endure. So some people prefer that take them out a lot more frequently. So they don't have to worry about spark plugs snapping and turning your simple tune-up into a head job. Tool tight. Is that the second one or the first one? Which one did I do? I can't see. No, I did that one. I did number 2, or the middle one. You. Come on, stop messing about. I got places to go, people seeing problems to cause. All the blooper tapes belong to us. Is this thing even turning? Am I just freewheeling? No, I don't think I am. Is the sockets... Is it even... Well, it looks like it's engaging. Get about 1/8 of a turn. Oh, well. Thank you, General Motors. Yeah, if you had a swivel. Yeah, well, I do. I'm just too lazy. You guys ever mess with swivels before? Kind of a pain. They're a lifesaver, but... Oh, come on. There it goes. There we go. Tool tight. Now don't... Ooh. I hate this one because it's right next to the oxygen sensor. Really don't feel like rewiring a new one in. Actually, can I unplug that? Is it just a... No. No, it unplugs further up. Okie dokie. Well, I guess these sockets... Oh, no. Oh, it fell down on the ground. All right. For this week, we will go fishing for sockets. Oh. Look at that. Ooh, really? Gosh darn it, General Motors. Why? I swear these engineers. If you're a mechanical engineer, look what the guys who actually have to service the stuff that you guys dream of have to work on. I mean, look at this. This is... Well, it would work if I had my half or my 3/8 drive, but... Yeah, see? You're just a dumb mechanic. Well, let's get my cars going again. I didn't say it was perfect. Well, how did I get that off? Because I got that off with this drive. Oh, no. Who's in charge? Somebody call the manager. Okay. Yeah, screw it all in before we can use our 1/2-inch drive with the 5/8 socket. Pay attention. Tool tight. Wires. Oh, yes. We're using the Walker products. This is Thundercore Pro. OE replacement wiring set. Thundercore almost sounds like Thunderdome. But check this shenanigans out. Country of origin, United States. Hecho en US, essays. Oh, excelente. I like it. I like it. Okay. Give me my plugs. Ooh. Looks premium to me. Got a match. Yep. Really? Now you won't. Oh. Woo, that's pretty loose. That's pretty loosey-goosey. Squeeze that a little bit, maybe. That's still pretty loose, but these wires are much thinner. I think it'll work just fine. Okay. Right. Let's go ahead and start the car up right quick and make sure I put them all on right. Place your bets now. Sounds like I have the right firing order. So far runs about the same, maybe a little bit smoother. You guys just won't be able to see it on camera. It's not moving very much at all. A little bit better. That sounds pretty healthy. Okay. Next order of business is replacing the drive serpentine belt. Why? Let me show you. You see all that lovely cracking on the side? Cracks on the outside of the belt is not a good thing. And you can see we've got quite a lot of cracking happening. You know, serpentine belts. That is fairly normal. That's a little bit excessive, but yeah, no, that's that belt's gonna go. Plus, somewhere on here I saw that it was frayed, and I'll show you guys that when I pull it off. So what you do on this 3.8 liter engine, you get your 18 mils, loosen up the tensioner, and boom, there you go, belt's loose. All right, let's go see here what we got. You can see right here, it's starting to fray. Yeah, I am officially condemning this belt. Oh, here's another even better section. Yeah, this belt's gonna let loose pretty soon. For the replacement belt, we'll be using, of course, Gates, my favorite flavor. You gotta admit, this belt is long. It's got to be at least 6 foot circumference. It's a lot. Okay. This will probably end in disaster. Around the crankshaft pulley first. Around power steering, or power steering, water pump. Crankshaft, water pump. And from water pump goes down to the air compressor. I know you guys can't see that, but I guess I can show you when I'm done. You better. All right. AC, the alternator, then alternator, idler, our steering pump. All that's left is around the crankshaft on the bottom end. Right, so we'll go ahead and undo the alternator. That'll be at the very end. That'll allow us to drop it down through the crankshaft, around the crankshaft pulley rather. Okay. Except it's not on the crankshaft pulley all the way. This is gonna be kind of a pain. Make sure you get all the grooves. Is it 6 grooves or 8 grooves? I don't know. So then we'll go up here. And this gets tugged up down here. Like that. Okay. So then push that through here. Now, even though it's tight, I still have to verify down there the crankshaft pulley that is truly on, because it's kind of a blind pulley on 3/4 of the side. Looks like that lines up. Looks like it is actually on there. Yep. Thank goodness for small cell phones and good cameras these days. Goodness, all right, that is on there all the way. Aha! You see? This is why you verify it. That belt's not even on the pulley on the air compressor side. Okay. Is everything else right though? Looks like it. That's why you always verify it first. Always, always, always. Fortunately, the thing with cameras, I'm actually looking at the camera, not what's down below, so it really helps. There we go. Alright, so again, everything looks good up here. Still on the crankshaft pulley? Yep. Alright, let's go ahead and fire it up. Make sure there's nothing weird going on. that, looks like the belt's good to me. And for the next item up is this little humdinger. This is the fuel pressure regulator. Now, on 3.8 liters, I don't know about the 3.3s, but I know the 3.8 liters, these things tend to go out. I've actually had to replace them before. So, as a precautionary measure, we're going to go ahead and replace it. So before you replace the fuel pressure regulator, you need to get up my arch nemesis, the infamous 20 amp fuse, which hasn't blown anymore. I think that relay may have been bad. We take out the fuel pump relay fuse, start the car up until it doesn't want to start anymore, and then we know that the fuel pressure in the fuel lines is down to 0 and we don't have to worry about anything spraying up at us. So we'll crank for a bit. Should take it down to 0. All right. Fuel system depressurized. There's also a Schrader valve right here. You can simply make sure it's down to 0. There you go. A little bit of pressure in it left, but not bad. There you go. See how I'm moving that? 0 pressure. Excellent. I like it a lot. Woo! That's some fresh gas. Okay, now that we know we're not going to have a big explosion coming up and hitting the camera and make millions of views on YouTube, we'll just put along. Another reason why I wanted to replace is because this hose is pretty much cracked. So I wanted to definitely give the fuel pressure regulator some loving on. Technically it wasn't bad. The hose was starting to. So I always suggest periodic maintenance, your PMs. Always having periodic maintenance going on if you can afford it. I know in this day and age, nobody can afford anything anymore. But if at all practicable, keep up on it if you can. It'll just help your car be more and more reliable. That's my motto, which is why a lot of you guys see me throwing a lot of parts at cars that don't necessarily need it right away, but I prefer reliable cars. Instead of breaking down on the road where it's dangerous. All right. Got a nice clean hose barb there, Snap ring pliers have been acquired. Oh, I switched the transmission. How do we do that? Is it this thing? There we go. Squeeze them into, yeah, okay. There we go. All right. Ooh. It's made in Germany. I really hate to replace it. But even after 30 years, yeah, wouldn't hurt. I assume 30 years. I assume this is the original. Although made in Germany, though, I'm not sure. Oh, well, all accounts, it should. Oh, that's why they put that little thing there. Maybe? Yeah, okay. Pick. Possibly use that as leverage on the side? No? Yes. Yeah, you can get up in there. Jeez. Wow. Crikeys. I'm gonna have to get some penetrating oil on there. That thing's stuck. Shoot some in here, maybe? Yeah. Chew on them apples. Shock load it up. I wonder if we can do this. Twist. Pull it up again. Maybe that's the winning combination. Twist and lift, twist and lift. Twist and lift, twist and lift. Twist and lift, twist and lift. Twist and lift. You guys get the picture. Oh, don't you go anywhere. Ah, there we go. Ooh. Okay. We left our screen in there. Okay. So that's the old one. The new one is right here. Even though this one was made in Germany, this one is US made, so that's all right. Allegedly. Yeah. Nothing really terribly exciting. Oh, get some oil on them O-rings right quick. And how we do that? Well, just put a dab of motor oil on it. There we go. It's nice to have 5 quarts always at the ready. There you go. Hey, if it works, it works. Come on now. All right. This bugger out of here. All right. You gotta put some He-Man strength into that one. I think I figured it out. Here's the original one and here's the new one. See that white nylon washer? That didn't come off the original. So multiple different years, probably applications for this thing. Let's go ahead and just take this nylon deal off, I guess. Ran great without the other one, so the other one did not even have one. Now let's see if we can. There we go. Oh yeah, that sinks way further down into the housing. It should work. Oh, what a life. What a legacy. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Clamps right down. Cramps. Got a cramp in my back right now. There we go. Perfect. So we'll get some hose right quick. Once again, with the Earl. Oops. Sorry about that camera bump. There we go. A little too much, but that's all right. Now we can trim it down to size. See, it's not going to require much. Okay. There we go. That should do nicely. Okay, excellent. Let's go ahead and fire up, make sure we don't have any major leaks. All right. Haha, success. You stupid lens cover. There, success. Starting up again. See how the gauge, the RPM gauge isn't going? We got a loose connection in there somewhere. Because if you can tap it, then it comes on. Problem is, this is such a low mileage car, or a low production car. They only made a few thousand of these. Yeah, good luck finding another one of those. It could be a bad solder joint, but I really don't feel like ripping out the dash right now. Looks good to me. The next installment for this car, we are going to do a little bit more of a full tour and show you what kind of the fun little accessories you can order with it at the time. It is a touring sedan. I looked it up on the internet, supposedly on Wikipedia. This internet, I know. There's only 4,200 of these built 1991, so it's actually kind of a rare trim package, actually. So it's kind of fun to work on it and see all the fun options. And of course, you guys have already chimed in the last comments. Oh, it has this. Oh, it has like factory fog headlights. So I'll give you guys a better tour. Then after that, we'll go for a little run and drive in case you guys want to relive the 90s again. That might be kind of fun for you guys. I appreciate your guys' comments, your enthusiasm below, sharing these stories, selling these cars as a salesman, or remembering that you had one, or your aunt had one, or your parents had one. It's really fun to hear those stories. Keep them coming. Love to encourage that. In the meantime, thank you everybody for your enthusiasm. We'll catch you on the flip side. 10-4, Roger, over and out. Was that lame enough? Was that lame enough? Oh, we're just getting started. Oh, yes. Let me do my Tony the Tiger impression. They're great. Hello, everyone. Hello. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Today we're working on the... Hello, everyone. A potato. Oh, really? Ah! Okay. Work on my... Oh, I can't see the electric. I have to do that. Fine. Just that. Well, I'm gonna sort this one out here in a second. Oh, the lens back up. Twist it and angle a little bit. Oh, that's right. My phone actually has a zoom out option on it. That ain't gonna work. Always hate having to do this, do the maths on this. Well, there's all. Oops. Focus mod. I'm going for 60 thousandths. There's 10 thousandths. That's an easy number. We're using 20 thousandths. So that's 30 thousandths. I just need 30 more. Oh, really? It's 26. I hate trying to. Oops. No, let's just start the tape all the way to the very beginning. That's don't bother. That's 60. That's 54 thousandths with this one in here. Options you could get with it. This is 20, 30, 40, 54 thousandths.